Well, hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Really hope you're having a spectacular day so far, wherever you are. 7 a.m. out here in the West Coast, the Southern California desert, Rancho Mirage, California, Mission Hills Country Club. Got a little light slam with a big O this morning on grass court. I don't know, grass court 7, 8, or 9, or 10, or something like that, around 9:15. Really looking forward to that. Always good to get out there in the court with him and kind of work the ball around, crack a good sweat, and all that good stuff. So I've got a little message for you today that I just want you to really consider. But before I get into that, is this Saturday morning, December 12th, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm part of a 4-panel group that's going to it's an immersion group about plant-based eating. Not that you have to be plant-based. I'm not. I'm about 95%, pretty darn close. My wife Mai's about 98%, even a little bit closer. But it's really kind of a compelling thing. You know how I changed my diet about 3 years ago, and how that totally changed in terms of my results, my tournament results, World Cup team results, all that stuff in the last 2 years. I mean, we've been shut down since March. So really since March of 2018 to March of 2020 this year. Anyway, if you've been thinking about, and I've always said this, right? The fastest way to become a better tennis player is get the kitchen right. And if you do, I think what you're going to discover is not only a little bit quicker in the court, but you have better balance. You see the ball better, visually track the ball better, which obviously is important in this game. But endurance, right? If you get into a long, drawn-out 3-set, 2+ hour, 3-hour match, hey, that's what it may take on that day. And if you've got the kitchen right, good things can happen. So look, there's a link here in the comments area that you can get registered for this immersion group. And the big player in this immersion group is Dr. James Loomis, featured in the Game Changers movie. He's in there around, I don't know, minute 10 or 11 or something like that. Former doctor, team doctor for the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team and the then St. Louis Rams football team. Great guy, smarty pants. Wow, just crazy stuff. But he's in that movie, The Game Changers. And so, look, check out the movie. But if you've got some interest in terms of, how does this thing work? What's the science behind it? And then, of course, what are some easy recipes? Karen Dugan, who's a plant-based nutritionist, is going to take us through, so it's not just salads for the rest of the day, right? There's going to be some great recipes and a lot of good ideas of how you can make this work for you, right? That link is in the comments area. Yeah, there's a small fee. I think it's $39 or something, big whoop, but would love to have you there. This Saturday morning, December 12th. At 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. So look, guys, today, and I've got a whole list of topic ideas that I want to do on these daily live videos. And but this morning, this one just really came front and center for me. And, I've been asked to demonstrate at some of these tennis association regional events before, and on different topics. And, some of them are on either technique or strategy or mental or physical or whatever. But at the end of all of these, what I do is I got to give some love to that one person who completely changed my tennis life and eventually changed my personal life as well. And that's legendary Northern California tennis coach, Tom Stowe. And you've heard me talk a lot about Mr. Stowe, and rightly so, because he is the one that if I hadn't run into him, I mean, who knows? I I might have found someone else. But I was fortunate enough to find Mr. Stowe back in the early 80s. And ironically, I'd known him just about my entire life from growing up at the Berkeley Tennis Club. And he was the manager there. He was the club manager at the Berkeley Tennis Club. Manager and head pro for 25 years when I was a kid. But, you've probably heard before, my story is I didn't play much tennis as a kid. I played a ton of baseball. So I never really got coached from him then as a kid. But in my early 30s, I had a chance to get coached by him. And unfortunately, it's right before he passed away. But I got 18 months with Mr. Stowe. And there is no question that any success I've had as a player, any success I've had as a coach, he gets 1,000,000%. I don't know if that's even a number, but he certainly gets 100%. And over the years, I won my first USA National Gold Ball, 35 doubles, probably a year after I stopped working with him back in the early 80s. And he passed away the year before I won that first gold ball in 1984. He passed away in 1983. And look, I mean, this was a big deal, right? I mean, Rob Olson and I were unseeded in the tournament and full draw 64, no buys. And we just kind of work our way through the draw. We have some big upset wins in there. And we finally get to the finals and go, well, I guess we might as well just go for it. And, played one of the top matches of my life, of my playing career. And I remember after that match, the first thought is that I wanted to call Mr. Stowe. I mean, it was so bittersweet. He was not alive, but I wanted to call him up and just kind of bawl like a baby boy and just say, oh my God, thank you so much for everything you gave me, everything you did for me. You have no idea, right? And so, look, short message today, but whatever you've done in your tennis career, either as a player, either as a coach, or whatever part of the industry that you're in, if you're working in the industry, or just a player, there must be someone, right? There must be someone in your life, whether could be a family member, could be a friend, could be a mentor, could be a coach. But there's probably someone who made a big time significant difference in your tennis life. And Miguel, good morning. Thank you for joining me. But there's probably someone. And so my message to you today is, whoever that person is, if you've not reached out to them recently and just kind of said, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much for what you've done. And whether it's a phone call or a text message or an email or Pony Express, I don't know, but reach out to that person. And you know what? If that person is no longer alive, reach out to their family, reach out to one of their family members, and just let them know how much they meant. And we lost Dennis Ralston on Sunday, and I had a little post about him yesterday. And I've been sort of waiting for the time to reach out to Linda and Mike and just. I just want to reach out and just say, man, I love Dennis so much. Love you guys. He did so much for me. And so, look, whoever that person is in your life, in your tennis life, call them, text them, email them, do something. If they're not around, spouse, kids, somebody, and just let them know how much they meant to you. And so there you have it. There you have it, guys. I don't know how else to embellish on this story other than, look, I don't know where I'd be today without Mr. Stowe. I really don't. And even though it was a short period of time with him, it was only 18 months. It was once a week, 3 hours with a group of, 3 other guys, all top players. I wasn't. They were all in the top 5 in NorCal in the men's open. And I was like maybe, 384. I don't know. But I was pretty far down the list. And so I was so fortunate to not only get together with Mr. Stowe, but also these 3 other guys that put me on the map, eventually put me on the map. And I'm sure you've got someone in your tennis life as well. So give them a shout out today, reach out. And if they're not around, reach out to a family member and just sob like a baby and just thank you. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Would love to hear your comments. I promise to respond to them. If you want to direct message me, would love to hear from you that way as well. Or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And would love to hear from you and be able to get back to you. All right, guys, on that, come on now. Got to get out there. Oh, the San Jacintos, somewhere from here to there. Help someone else have a spectacular day. And guys, we'll do this again tomorrow.